All right, so welcome back again. So the goal this time is to start doing Ajax request in like a real application, right? So the server time, I think it kind of covered all the basis of here's what it looks like on the client, here's like what it looks like on the server. But what I like to do is I like to use it in a real application that gives me like two benefits, right? So one, it lets you see what it really looks like, and then even more than that, it lets me like show you like extra things. So there's a lot of tangential skills that like don't really fit into anything. It gives me a chance to kind of do that with you, and then also just like see how the big picture of like a real JavaScript like objects work with this Ajax stuff. So the goal that we're going to do together is going to be called MovieQuotes Quiz, and then you're going to have a lab with weather picks. I kind of like that MovieQuotes weather picks thing to talk about it. So the goal with MovieQuotes is we're going to make a new page called /quiz. So whenever you go to MovieQuotes /quiz, it's going to bring up a quiz page like this. What it's going to do is it's going to have a couple of questions to where it says the quote, and then it's got like 4 options for movies. One of the options is correct, the other 3 are wrong. So you're going to go down, you're going to play it in rounds. Each round is going to have 1, 3, 5, 10, or 20 questions, depending on what the user would like. They're going to change the number of questions, and then whenever they hit new question, it's going to do an Ajax request to get new question data. It's then going to show that on the screen. It's not going to do any page refreshes, right? It's also going to have the ability to add a quote using Ajax. So those are the goals. Let's go look at a demo. So if you go to fisherdsmoviequotes.com, currently for this video, I've got it in a state where the quiz is present. I guess if you go there, it may be up, it may not be up. But you can see that I've got 5 quotes total, which is not many, but it's the minimum for actually using the quiz at all. So if I go into the quiz, what it'll do is it'll ask me a question, so it'll give me a question, and then I have to figure out what movie that's from. If I get it right, it makes the correct noise and it marks it green. And then if I get it wrong, it just makes an ant noise and makes it in red, right? So the idea is that you finish the round, you get as many right as you can, and then so this round I got 4 out of 5. Lifetime I've gotten 5 right, 1 wrong, so I'm running around 83%. And if I click on new questions, it'll get new questions for me to answer. You can change the number of questions. Let's say I want only 1 question. It'll give me just 1 question per round, which is fine. You can do that. Right now, since I've only got a total of 5, it'll only work with 5. If I tried to actually say 10 and then hit new question, the only thing that would be happening right now is an error, right? So it's showing me the old questions because it failed, right? And it's showing internal server error. So one of the things that I wanted to show you, I like to show you different skills, is a thing called task queues. So if I'm using a task queue, we're going to make a path called import data. What import data is going to do is it's going to add a bunch of quotes, 10 at a time, so that you've got a lot of extra quotes. Once you go to import data, it'll bring you back to this page, and it's doing it kind of in a background thread. So if I hit refresh, I should have a whole bunch of more quotes. So this bulk import of data, there's a lot of reasons to use task queues, but in this case we're using it just to bring in a bunch of movie quotes. Now if I go to the quiz, I could easily say 20 questions, and that'll work just fine. And the number of questions is high enough that you won't necessarily like know them all, right? In fact, it's so hard that I'll probably do pretty poorly as well. So I can get some of them, but you can see that I can't do them all. All right, so that's the goal for the app. Let's go get the starting code for it. So if you follow so there's a definition of the requirements that we're going to do. So the starting code is under Simple Ajax Applications. It's a GitHub repo like always. And just like always, go ahead and click on Download Zip. So that part is normal. The thing that is not normal is do not put it into your static folder, right? Like these are standalone app engine backends, right? So do not put it inside of another one. So simply try to find a good place to put it and just save it right there. And then you'll actually just bring in a new project into Eclipse. So just because it's been a little while since we brought in a new project, I'll go ahead and do it with you. So you'll notice that we've already got MovieQuotes web app from something we did a long time ago. If you wanted to, you could actually like bring the things from this project into that one, but it's a lot easier just to put this in a new spot, right? So I just put it into a new spot somewhere, and now inside Eclipse, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say File, New Project. I'm going to select PyDev Google App Engine Project. I'm going to uncheck Use Default, and I'm going to browse for wherever it was I put that code. So here's my folder for MovieQuotes quiz. So it should have a static and a templates inside of it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to call the project MovieQuotes quiz. If you need to, you can set the default interpreter. Probably you did not need to do that. And then you need to browse for your Google App Engine directory. I'm on a Windows machine here, so mine's going to be under Program Files x86 Google App Engine. If you're on a Mac, I think it's USR local Google _ App Engine or something like that. Once you find the path, it should show you all the modules that you now have available to you, and you click on Finish. Once you've got that, it should be up inside Eclipse. One of the first things that I like to do is I like to go ahead and modify app.yaml to be my username. So it comes in, it'll say, your username. So I'm just going to go and fix that. I'm going to say FisherDS. So that's mine. And then you can either change the to-do to a done, or you can just delete it, right? Once you've got that, you can go and right-click on it, and you can run it. So you can say run as PyDev Google App Engine run. Sorry, it popped off the screen there. And then when you go visit localhost, you should be able to see MovieQuotes, just like we had it before. So once you've got it up and running, it should actually bring in the other data that you had. So it looks like last time I did it, I wrote some things like no CSS and still works. You might want to go ahead and delete these out because we're actually going to be using like real data. So if you want to, you can just blow away any of the things that you've got in here. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be bringing in some real MovieQuotes to use as a thing. So if you start with no quotes, that's fine. If you have a few quotes, that's fine too. If you try to click on quiz, it's not going to do much for you yet because that's one of the things we're going to write together. All right, that's it for this time. I'll cut it off. Come back next time, and we'll show you bringing in a bunch of bulk data. See you then. Bye.